Alright, I guess this is my first shot at some video for the Final Parsec series that I'm hoping to start. For those of you who don't know, I'm Bear and I've been around since the beginning of Final Parsec, 10, 11 years ago. For the last decade, Final Parsec has just been a hobby, but it's been something that's always been a passion of mine, and it's been something that's just been slowly kind of organically growing as time has gone by. And I think I'm at a point in my career where I'm really excited to go and work on something new and see if I can't make my own way and make my own business work. I'm quitting my job to work on Final Parsec. It's going to be a full-time effort from me starting today. So a new start, like it's kind of a scary thing, to be honest. I'm nervous about it in some ways. Like in addition to being very excited. And I'm hoping this channel can be a little bit of an inspiration for people that want to start their own businesses, or people that want to make their own games, or just learn about software development, or anything else. I don't know what everybody individually wants to accomplish in their life, but I think one aspect of what I want this YouTube channel to do, in addition to helping me be accountable and to help me grow a little bit, is to act as a bit of inspiration for others. Maybe provide some entertainment value too. The goal here with this channel, or at least the pace that I'm hoping to start out with, is to put out a video once a week as a way to keep myself accountable. I want to talk about what I'm trying to build, what I'm trying to accomplish, and then, you guys will see as the week goes by whether I actually accomplish those things or not. And I'm sure week to week, what I'm working on will change as well. One other thing I want to do is try to, once a month, get out a new blog post and a new product on Final Parsec. We've got one product right now, which is some art that you can put in like a 2D game, and then it's meant to be like put in a parallax background. The idea is that hopefully we can start to build up a library of these types of things, whether it's art for your games, tutorials, project templates, or anything somewhat related to that. It's my hope to build up a library of those that can be sold. And I want to try to at least get like one thing out a month so that I've got that like on a good trajectory. I also want to put out a blog post every month too, because I think those are valuable in helping me kind of like put something more meaningful down. And I think they're great at, drawing people in and getting them something to read. So that's kind of the initial goal. I think this week, it's my very first week. And there's like a half-finished project of migrating this website. I'll probably put up a diagram here. One that was originally from 2015, 2016, which is an ASP.NET application. And then there's a newer one, a Ruby on Rails application. So I think like the very first order of business that I want to take on is just to kind of get that cleaned up. As part of the migration as well, I'm like improving the look and feel of certain pages and like tweaking functionality a little bit for things that have just annoyed me, and like fixing some bugs. So it's my hope I can really just like knock some of that stuff out super early in the game so that I've got like a good foundation of one reasonably well-designed application that I'm happy with to get started with, and then I just want to build from there. So it's my hope, you know how timelines are in software development, but it's my hope maybe here in a couple weeks I might be able to get everything moved over and start to sunset that application in a more serious way. I've already made some pretty substantial progress just working on this in my free time. I've had this really long history of working on Final Parsec, either intermittently or for like 30 minutes a day here and there, and it's made a little progress and I'm proud of what I've done, but I've always had this feeling of like blaming work for my inability to accomplish the number of tasks that I want to do. I think work has always felt like some sort of interrupting thing in my ability to start a business, and I just want to pull that factor out and actually give it a shot. The idea here for Final Parsec to grow is to just really lean into those things that have already been successful. I want to keep making tutorials for hobby game developers. I want to keep making tools that are useful to game developers. We've had a lot of success with the Spritesheet Maker. I think there are some similar tools that are related to like art in video games that can be done. And then I've got this world builder tool that has seen a little bit of usage, but has also never really been advertised, that I want to put some more time into, and I think has some cool like maybe integrations with like generative AI. I want to just kind of keep working on those and build up a bit of a portfolio of tooling that's useful, and let people find things that work for them, that they come to the site to use. So that's like the product offering. The strategic approach to growth that I want to take, I think, is to use content marketing primarily. So like the videos you're watching here will hopefully drive some awareness of the brand, of what I'm doing, and hopefully reach the right audience. I think the blog posts will do the same. But I think initially, like, I'm just trying to wrap up this migration. I've got these two applications, which feels to me like kind of a weird bit of tech debt and not a great foundation to start from. So I want to knock that out early. And then probably I'm going to move into an old game, an office simulator that I've had sitting on the shelf for probably a year or two. I've had the idea for even longer, and I'll probably talk more about that. I don't think I'm going to get to it this week, but I want to kind of get back to that, revisit it, and also start to look at like what a deployment pipeline looks like for a game like that, and maybe build some free tooling around that. So those are my initial plans for the first few weeks. I'll keep updating throughout the week, and then my plan is probably to release these every Friday.
Hey guys, it's the next day, and I wanted to give you an update on how things have been going. Most of yesterday was just kind of spent setting up a new laptop, getting everything ready to go for local development. So I didn't really accomplish anything too meaningful in terms of like product or customer experience. So we've got a couple things in progress right now. The first being a new book that we're hoping to put out on our store related to learning C#. It's meant to be kind of like a project-based learning guide to really hit the fundamentals of C# and, kind of just learn the basics. If you've seen some of the videos that we have or some of the blog posts related to learning C#, we're hoping to kind of take a lot of those things, put it together in like a bit more of a polished format with like, a good sense of progression. The other is the migration of our app from a legacy app that we started about 10 years ago into the newer one that kind of has a lot of some of our newer pages and newer features. There's like 3 big areas left: the homepage, some of the pages related to like user profiles, and then as well like the hosted games aspect too. So this morning I got started on the homepage, and I want to revamp it a little bit. Historically, it's been more content focused. It's got the blog up above the view, up above the fold, and then it gets into like the games that have been submitted by users, and then it gets into some of the worlds that have been created and advertises and like talks about the world builder tool. But I think it's kind of hiding the deeper product and like the bigger vision that we have for Final Parsec. Right now, if you look at the homepage, it's most of the content is an article about shaders in Unity, which is cool and it's probably relevant, but it's not telling the full picture of what Final Parsec is or could be. It's not what we envision for the tool, for the product. So I think it needs some updates, and since we need to move everything over to a new app anyway, this is a great opportunity to do it. I want to talk a little bit too about some of the goals that I just want to set for myself in terms of like accountability and progress I'd like to make. So one of those is these videos. My hope is that I can publish one per week. So kind of like start the normal work week on a Monday, and then, record myself as I go through, and then try to publish on Fridays, and just keep that up as a longer term trend, so that it's almost like a bit of like an iteration where you can see what's been going on, what do I plan to do, what do I actually do, and what are the results, what are the outcomes that we have from it. In addition to the videos, I'd also like to start making blog posts about once a month. I want that content to be relevant to our customers. That's a bit of a way to give out some information. Usually those are going to take the form of like tutorials or something related to one of the tools or maybe a project that I'm working on. And then another thing too is that I'd like to start building up the product store that we have. Right now there's just one product on it, and it's some art that you could use in like a 2D game, which is cool, but it's fairly limited, right? And the hope is that I can build this into something that sustains my lifestyle. I don't want to go back to full-time employment. I want a successful business, and a successful business, of course, is going to have products to sell. So we might see a cadence like new videos, new blog posts, new products. And then to support some of the new products and things that are going on, I imagine there's going to be like some longer running things. Like I think I mentioned yesterday, we've got an office simulator game. We've had a platformer game that we've been working on for a long time. I imagine that'll be like a common thread for longer term things. So as I build out an office simulator, I can do that in a way where I create art that I can sell, or where I create tutorials or that I can turn into books to sell, or where I can maybe make the whole project itself a template for you to make your own simulator that's similar. So that's the like the longer term goal of what we're hoping to accomplish.
I had a lovely morning going over to the Fort Worth Nature Center and Wildlife Refuge, which was quite a good experience. Saw some animals, got in a few miles of hiking, and really just had a lovely morning. Before that, I got a little bit done on the homepage that I mentioned previously. Got it looking a little better on a mobile phone, and then like a smaller viewport, and then tweaked some of the copy on that. But I'm kind of now to the point where like I need to get all the content below it and start to kind of showcase the tools and things like that. So that's probably what I'm going to be working on this afternoon, and hopefully I can get some pretty good progress so that homepage is a little closer and ready to ship. But that's where I'm at.